Welcome to the MLS Show. This is the results review. We have already done a game of the week, Sporting Kansas City and Colorado Rapids, so check that video out. Let's get on to the rest of the action from the weekend. A win for LA Galaxy, the first home win. That was on Friday night. They beat Montreal 2-0. And Jermaine Jones, who's had a little bit of a cob on last week, gave an interview saying, why is everyone having a pop at me? It's always my fault. But he scored the second goal in this one, Alessandrini, with the first. But we were talking last week, although none of you heard it because there was no sound, but we were saying how many things had happened at LA, how it'd been a big upheaval. Yeah. Gerrard, Keane, Gordon, Bruce Arena, Kurt and Alfo needed a result, and he's got one against Montreal, a good side. Yeah,
good result. You know, what they'd expect. Club's in a bit of a flux at the moment. There's obviously a lot of talk last week about Zlatan.
Yeah. Just quickly on that, again, surfaced over the weekend that people don't think he's staying at United because of
well, I mean,
how can you not?
United have been mad to let him go. He's their top goal scorer. He's scored over 20 goals this season.
Yesterday's goal.
He's flying, absolutely flying. And
I mean, if LA were to get him,
it sounds. I mean, from what it sounds like is that he would be willing to move.
Yeah.
But he'd also be willing to stay. But he wants Man United to
commit to
him. I think it does sound like he's agreed. Like the package that Galaxy have offered him, he's agreed to. But it's all reliant on how. I mean, he's a kind of fella that probably money doesn't really matter. It's how much someone. It's how how someone is willing to use him or work with him, and he probably wants assurances off Man United that next season he's going to be a big, even if they bring big players in, that he doesn't want to be a big part player. He doesn't seem like one of those players that. And the thing is, this season he's played nearly every game. He's so important for them. So you wouldn't imagine that they're just going to throw him out. And he has got an option on a 2-year deal, and he did say it's all down to Man United just pressing the button. So whether that's there now, I don't know. Maybe it'll be a case that LA Galaxy might have to wait another year for him.
Nice.
At the end of next season.
Yeah.
Which would make sense. But they obviously want him this year, because if they get him this year, they can sort of turn it on its head and go, Man United wanted to keep him. We're getting him. He's still flying. He's just scored 25 goals in the Premier League or whatever he ends up with.
He's got 28 goals this season.
Exactly. So you can say, if he finishes the season with 30 goals, Zlatan's also said, I think Zlatan wants Champions League as well.
He's not going to fancy the Europa League.
Yeah, again. So maybe if United win the Europa League, then maybe he'll go. I'll have one more, because he's never won the Champions League.
No.
So maybe he'll think, I'll have one more go. So it might just be a case of everything's done with LA, but I think he'll become an LA Galaxy player, but he might have to wait another year.
Okay. I mean, he'd be some signing. Like we're seeing every week here, just how good a player he is. I mean, he played against our club the other night, Everton. He was fantastic. Yeah. You know, and then seeing his goal this weekend against Sunderland, this sheer strength and the finish, and then the hold-up play for, I think it was Rashford's goal. He just waited and waited. He will be some player in MLS.
And everyone would love him as well. Everyone would love him or hate him.
Yeah.
But then again, who cares? You know what I mean? Everyone loves a pantomime.
I think he'd score 30 goals in MLS because he's just that good. He really is. Galaxy up to 5th there. Like you said, the first home win of the season. Only won 2. Montreal Impact, no wins and second bottom in the Eastern Conference at the moment.
Yeah. Poor start.
Yeah, very poor start, because they've got some good players.
Yeah, they have.
Mancuso, Piatti, got real pace in that final third. So I'm a little bit surprised at the start they've made. But anyway, moving on. Chicago 1, Columbus 0. Dax McCarthy, lovely through ball for Nikolic. Chicago Fire. We spoke about Schweinsteiger last week,
we did,
which you didn't hear.
Yeah.
So just give me a 90-second Bastian Schweinsteiger for everyone, Ped. Good signing or not?
He's a great signing. He's absolutely a great signing. He's as we said last week that no one heard. He's basically been kicking his heels around for a year at Man United without hardly playing any games. He's fresh. He's ready to go. You know, okay, he's only 31, isn't he?
Yeah, 31.
You can knock a couple of years off that because he hasn't been playing. He is actually a player at his peak going into MLS. He's going into a team that really, really needs him. As we spoke about last week, he's going into a club and certainly a city with a lot of German heritage. He'll love that. He could have stayed at Bayern Munich. Very comfortable at Bayern Munich. Could have stayed there. And as we said last week, let's hope he wins the World Cup for Chicago.
Yep. But they've looked really good, like I say, with McCarthy in there, who's who came from the Red Bulls.
They could get a striker. Not even.
Well, Nikolic he got a lot of goals in Europe, a lot of goals. He's got a couple already. If he really clicks, then the couple.
Schweinsteiger got to bring that kind of experience. He'll sit in front of that back four, and he will dominate midfield because of all his experience.
And if you've got McCarthy's legs and Janino's in there as well, isn't he, as well? So they've got quite a strong midfield. They're in fourth at the moment. They've had a really good start, 2 wins, 2 draws and a defeat. So really good win for them. Columbus Crew are a little bit, you don't know what you're getting from them. No. I just think
box of chocolates.
They are. And I still think when we've said it a million times, haven't we, with them, is that you just, one week, the top of the Eastern Conference, and you don't know which one's turning up, because they go away, get hammered, then they look really good at home. But quite sure, like you say, they'll be.
But nothing's settled down yet, has it?
No.
Nothing settles down for a while. No. So.
But anyway, moving on. New England Revolution 2, Houston Dynamo 0. Houston Dynamo marvellous at home. Not so much away from home.
Again, we spoke about it before. Conditions are so important, and it's so important to make the most of your conditions now. New England probably do with the pitch, and Houston do with the temperature. As well as the likes of Sporting do, and
from Colorado
do, and Orlando do as well. And that's what you've got to do. You worry more when these teams can't, like Houston couldn't for the 2 or 3 years they had Owen Coyle, and you think you've got perfect conditions to beat teams. But obviously something was wrong. But, if you've got a good home record like Colorado proved last season, and you get into those playoffs, you can go far.
You certainly can. This one, obviously, Kai Kamara put them ahead, but lovely pass by Lee Wynn for the first goal. Just dissected it, didn't he? Kai took it a bit early.
He did, but I think he was trying to catch the keeper off. And maybe he wasn't confident in his own pace, and he's got it at the second attempt. So. Good
goal. Agudelo made it 2-0. The Revs, like you said last week, I've been impressed. They've looked quite good the start of the season. They're in 5th. Houston Dynamo, is really good at home. Cubo Torres, who's been scoring for fun, missed a really good chance. Bad touch at 1-0. Could have levelled it up. But they're 3rd in the Western Conference at the moment. Portland's setting the pace there, so a good win for the Revs. DC 2, New York City 1. Talking of teams that are New York City again, they look marvellous one week and not so marvellous the next week, but a good win for DC. Lloyd Sam, the New York City defence messing up, and Sam nipping in to give them the lead, and it cost the 2-0. And then, no surprise, David Villa with a lovely little finish late on to make it 2-1. But for Patrick Vieira, again, is it just a case of them settling back down? 2 wins, 2 defeats, and
as I say, it's early on in the season, isn't it? You're finding your feet again, coming back, and we know MLS throws up loads of different results, and it's about settling down and seeing what's working and what's not working in the first few weeks. Making trades if you need to, and we've seen a couple of trades last week, didn't we already, with Minnesota, Minnesota putting a couple in and a couple out, and it's just about seeing what's working, and once you've got an idea, because I think one of the things that MLS suffers from is pre-season seems to be a little bit like, or it's more all about the fitness, and I don't necessarily know if anyone gets a good idea, because they're all they play because of when they play amongst themselves a lot of the time, or you know what I mean, and do they get good ideas of patterns of play and those kind of things. So maybe it takes a few weeks of playing competitive football to find out what your team's identity is and what's working and what isn't working.
I mean, we saw that last year at Red Bulls, who lost 6 of the first 7 games and then ended up being right at the top again. And of course the thing is, if New York City would have won at the weekend, they'd have gone top. Joint top, so it shows you DC's win puts them level points there. But a really good result for DC United. Philadelphia 1, Portland Timbers 3. Timbers just flying at them, and they have hit the ground running.
Last season was almost like what I've just been talking about. There was all the mix last season. This season they've come into it and they knew straight away what they had. And we've said this before. Last season, because of that defence and because of those centre backs being in and out all the time, they couldn't get anything settled. This year, they've benefited from coming into season and going, right, Borges is not here. We know
where we are.
We know where we are. We know who can play. And we go from there. And that's better. That's better.
Yeah.
Than relying on players who are not going to be available.
Definitely. I mean, they've got 13 points from their opening 6 matches. They're the 3 points clear at the top. Scored 16 goals and conceded 8. They went behind in this from Philly Union, 5 games, no wins, bottom of the East, and they're struggling a little bit. Nagby with a lovely equaliser, then Valeri, great free kick, and then Fernando Adi with his penalties. I think he broke some kind of record, someone will tell me. But a really good win for them on the road, and important that as well. Toronto 2, Atlanta 2. This was a brilliant game. What's this game? Atlanta. And I know people, they just, what a start.
Good players, good manager.
That's what it is.
Makes such a difference. You come in and you've got, no disrespect to Minnesota, but Minnesota have come in, okay, the problem with Minnesota was actually that they had an established team.
Yeah.
So it's almost like taking that established team, seeing what you've got and what you haven't got. And again, it's all about building them and finding what works and doesn't work.
So do you think Atlanta's job's been easier in some respects?
I only think it's been easier because they've brought in a top quality manager and top quality players. And that's what's been their focal point. And they've conceded goals, they've scored goals, but the class has risen to the top straight away. You know what I mean? And that's because what they've had, and maybe probably I've got a bit of a bigger war chest than Minnesota have got. I think that's been, and that sometimes works and doesn't. When New York last season, that didn't work. That didn't work. It's just that and maybe that's because it didn't work at New York because they didn't have. They went with a tried and tested MLS coach. And maybe it didn't work because they had quality players in, David and Pirlo and obviously Lampard later. But they didn't have a coach who quite was up to that level. They brought him in where Atlanta have gone, no, we're going for the best coach we can. Doesn't matter what league it is. This fella's good enough to work anywhere. They've brought in good players and gone, that should be enough.
But they haven't got 36-year-old DPs, have they? They've gone for the young ones.
They've gone for young South American quality players, and that's a way other teams will go if they come into the league. Or a lot of that's where MLS is actually looking now. Clever.
Yeah.
Dallas showed that. Look south.
Yeah.
Look at Mexico. Look at Venezuela. Look at Peru, Bolivia. Then start looking at Argentina. Get the younger kids from Argentina and maybe Brazil. See what you can better. That's better than looking at Europe. Europe is not asked. Let's be honest. You're only going to pick up older DPs. You might get some good ones, but you're not going to get players in the peak. And what Dallas have shown is get quality in. Be the next stop before they go. If they're good enough, they will go. Look like someone like Castelia. He'll go eventually. Make them the next stop. Give them the incentive to say, well, we're not earning that much. We'll go to MLS and earn a little bit. And then we'll go to Europe. And be the stop, be the first stop. Because traditionally in Europe, the first stop's been Portugal or Turkey. Make America the first stop. Go out looking. So, yeah, I mean, they've had a great start. They're scoring goals. They showed some, tenacity in this game to get back in it and come from behind to make it 2-2. So, they've got something about them.
Certainly, I mean, Almiron's ball to Villabuena for the first one. The goalkeeper could have done better, it seemed to go.
No. Replace the word could with should.
Should have done better. Yeah. The shot went right through him. But then lovely goal by Toronto. Josie Altidore had revitalised his career.
I basically saved his career.
You've saved it. He was on the scrappy till you got involved. To be fair,
I was like his Mickey to his Rocky.
Yeah.
Basically,
you were
I was telling him he was a bum and he needs to. I'm not dealing with you anymore. You're a bum. Yeah. You're not interested. Yeah. And then he had to have a look himself in the mirror. I mean, when he lost that race, to Apollo Creed on the beach.
No,
that's when Josie had to look at himself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
and since then, he ran up the steps in Bamston, Philly, and all that. And he went back to Toronto, and he's doing well.
Still rubbish for America, but
it was a lovely little back heel.
It was like roles reversed.
It was, yeah.
Tia Winkle scoring his first of the season, getting off the mark, lovely.
Yeah.
Obviously missed a penalty in the first game of the season, didn't he? So,
yeah, good.
Settled
And
down.
then they got in front, but like you say, then Toronto's defence went MIA for Atlanta's second, the equaliser. But Villabuena with the lovely little finish. But they've still, like you said, they've been really good. Scored 13, conceded 5, and of course Martinez, who was scoring all the goals, he's been injured for the last few weeks, so it's good to see them continuing it. Toronto played 5, won 1, drawn 4, lost none.
It's the hangover, isn't it? It's the MLS hangover.
But if you just look at that, top Columbus Crew with 10 points, Toronto third bottom with 7, so a win from
that'll sort itself out.
Yeah,
that is literally that's the hangover of the MLS Cup.
Definitely. Dallas 2, Minnesota 0. Minnesota, good win last week. I wouldn't say back to kind of normal service.
No, they didn't concede 5.
Exactly. So, and they looked a lot, even though Dallas are an excellent side, they looked a lot better in this game.
Shape-wise.
They looked like they were getting the right people in the right areas.
That's the really important thing. I think they've made a couple of trades this week, haven't they? They've seen what they've looked at what they've had and gone, no. Even if they're good players, bad players, whatever, they might go, well, we don't need them. We need this right now.
Yeah.
And again, I've spoken about it before. It's about getting that shape. The MLS off-season or pre-season, whatever you want to call it, I don't think it doesn't work because it's off kilter with everyone else. So I don't think you can actually have a good look, and that's probably where MLS season with playoffs works, because honestly, you can take the first 3 months to sort your team out, and as long as no one makes any stupid decisions and says I'm sacking you or whatever, then it's fine. You know what I mean? Agents are a big enough job there anyway. Let them get on with it. Let them see what. Listen, Dallas for me are the best team in MLS, and I've been for the best team for 3 years. They just run out of steam when it comes to the MLS Cup, and that's just one of those things that they're going to. But they're the best footballing team, and they can destroy anyone they want. So Minnesota have been getting hammerings. Of course, they won last week. This is a difficult game. They've got that out the way now. Now they'll go start again and say, right, let's see if we can get a clean sheet. Let's see if we can get a clean sheet and see what happens and start building on that. But maybe more trades will need to be done. Whatever, I don't know. But hopefully they'll get a level where they're not getting smashed every week and move on from that. And that's and they've gone from that the last few weeks. They've scored goals. They've got to win.
I mean, they've just got to stay in there. I mean, in this one, they got to a minute before half time. Javi Morales, 37-year-old, put Dallas ahead. The second goal, Shuttleworth slips and Barrios smashes it in. But then Jesse Gonzalez has had to make 3 or 4 really good saves for Dallas.
What's the points at the bottom?
The points, they're on 4 points. They're on the same as Vancouver, Colorado Rapids.
There you go.
Real Salt Lake are only on 5.
There you go. Established teams.
Galaxy are on 6.
Exactly. Established teams that have got players in and have established players. This is a new team.
Yeah, well, this is the crux of it. It's conceded 22 goals.
But that doesn't matter, does it?
But they've
that
scored.
Doesn't matter.
All right, Dallas is second. Yeah, I've scored 6. Minnesota at bottom and scored 10.
But there you go.
So it shows
the goals they've conceded don't matter at this stage. They matter in those games. They don't matter at this stage of the season. They'll matter. Listen, if we get to halfway through the season and they've conceded 80 goals, then come back to me. But at the moment, it doesn't matter about the goals they've conceded. What matters is the points. And they're still in touching distance with everyone else.
I think Adrian Heath will have a look and go, well, we lost 5 at Portland, we lost 6 at home to Atlanta, we lost 5 at New England. Since then, they've kind of tidied that up a little bit, and they've cut the goals down. So I suppose, like you say, it is early days.
He's got to weed out as well. He's got to find out who the good players are and not the good players.
Yeah.
Players might come in with reputations and what they can do and what they could do, or look great at a certain level, and then suddenly go, well, no, this is the next level up.
Yeah.
We've seen players in all leagues in around the world who can take a step up. plays in England. You know, we've got Morgan Snardlin, who came through the ranks at Southampton, playing in the lower leagues. Now he's an international player. Liverpool have got someone like Adam Lallana, come through the ranks of Bournemouth, and now he's a fairly established international for England. Some players can take the step up and get better as they take the step up. Some players, they go take a step up and it's just like, wow, this is just, I'm swimming against the tide here. So
definitely. And I think the other, finally down Minnesota, the other thing with them is they've got Venegas, they've got Martinez, and they've got Molino, who are good in the final third. So that, you know, they'll score goals. Real Salt Lake 3, Vancouver 0. This one started off with great conditions and ended up with pure snow and snowballs and everything.
Yeah, snowballs getting thrown and you know what? Testament to MLS that they just get on with it. Yeah. When there's a bit of snow or whatever, just get on with it. All right, lightning, it's a bit different. Yeah, lightning stops the games. Fair enough. But snow, it's not going to hurt anyone, is it? It's actually, if you fall over, all right, you're gonna have a wet bum, but you're gonna have a soft landing. You know what I mean?
Hair dryer comes out for the lines, the orange ball, and it's actually weird.
Get on with it. Get on with it.
A really good
Real
win.
Men.
Really good win. Rusniak for Real Salt Lake was brilliant in this one. And Lewis Silva threw a snowball at someone when he lost the ball, but
I like it.
A really good win.
It's a gif already, isn't it? It's a ready-made gif.
Without a shadow. That's Real Salt Lake's first win of the season. San Jose won, Seattle won. This one, missed chances, good goalkeeping, and then Ladero scores an absolute screamer. Clint Dempsey free kick hits the ball, comes out, and he puts it ahead with only 6 minutes left, and then Wando to the rescue off his knee in the last minute. Good reactions. Yeah. And he's still scoring goals, San Jose captain. The only thing with this game is that the commentator, the comments, San Jose, when they score, and you're just like, oh, come on, mate. Just give it
I need to make a play actually to MLS regarding San Jose and LA Galaxy. When I come over to California in the summer, there's no games while I'm there because of the international. I think I miss LA Galaxy because I think they're playing on the Friday night or the Thursday night, so I missed them like by a day. And when I leave, I think I missed them playing by San Jose playing by a day the other way. So can MLS just sort it out for me so that they're playing and it's I'm coming over 2nd of June. I'm coming over, right? You know, so if you can just sort it so that, and also if you can move the Mexico America game to somewhere in America on the West Coast, that'd be fine. I know it's a Mexico home game, but or for you, Tijuana, move it to Tijuana. Yeah. I'll go and watch it in Tijuana. Yeah, but you know, I'm over there for a couple of weeks and there's no footy. No,
you need to, because we need a couple of
videos out of it. I'm gutted. Could have been over there, I could have been repping, I could have gone to San Jose one night, LA Galaxy took a couple of MLS games in, and literally all I'm going to go there is to go to shop.
That's not good.
Which, you know what I mean?
It's only April. When you're over there, June.
Plenty of time to
a couple of months to switch the game.
Just move the games for me.
Switch one of the games.
Move the games. Or, you know, if anyone's watching from either club and want to sort me out going to a training session at the very least,
I'm quite sure they will.
Then I'm up for that. But I'd just like to go to a game.
Yeah, just get that sorted, please.
In the press box.
We want the video, press box, we're all sorted. After Wando score, Fry come up big to save a point for Seattle there. Seattle 7th, 6 points from 5 games. You know, San Jose are 5th with 7 points, so yeah, bobbing along. Moving on to Orlando City 1, New York Red Bulls 0. Orlando City 100% record at home. I'm playing it. I don't know, you might know, you probably do know because you're over there and English people, but we've had a lot of the games earlier. There's a lot of games now live at like 7 o'clock on a Saturday night here.
Conditions.
Which means that it's like afternoon kick-off.
There we go, making the most of the conditions.
Exactly. Like Orlando kicked off at 4 o'clock yesterday in Orlando. Roasting, mate. It was roasting, mate. And another win. Both goalkeepers. See, absolutely marvellous.
That's making the most of the conditions, isn't it? Maybe last season, I don't know. Maybe someone can tell me. Maybe might have been because of the stadium they were playing at. Maybe now, because it's their own stadium, they can dictate when they want to play. And the coaches said, let's utilise that. They train in that every day, those conditions. So that's only going to get you hardened. I mean, if the average player walked out, they'd be like, you know, can't run. But if they're playing, if they're training every day, they're going to get hardened to those conditions. So why not make the most of it? Get teams to your ground and go, no, you know what? You're going to play on the surface of the sun at 4 o'clock or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And maybe it's better for everyone. That okay, it's not good for the away team, but make the most of your conditions. That's the most important thing. If you can have a really good home record, you'll get to the playoffs.
Definitely. I mean, they're doing, obviously they're on grass as well this year. They're doing fantastically well. Carrasco scored the winner here. Robles and Bender in either goal were absolutely brilliant. But you're right, it's if they can be strong at home, it's going to make all the difference to them. You know, got 9 points from 9, and they just look. What I've noticed this year about Orlando, which wasn't there, hasn't been there since they came into MLS, is the desire to keep clean sheets. Jonathan Spector's made a big difference, you know, and there was one yesterday with Wright Phillips goes through with Bendick and it hits him and goes over Bendick, and Spector doesn't give it up and clears it off the line. Will Johnson getting the last tackles in and giving it the big one to the wall.
I like
you
Will
know,
Johnson.
The standing section. So everything seems to be about keeping it nice and compact because they know it Laren.
Kaka's still out.
Kaka's still not, you know,
so they're
still
doing
got to come back. So they're doing.
They need to get the
well.
wins chalked up anyway before Carl Allen comes and stands for Everton.
Exactly,
so,
or comes to Stoke, wherever he's going. He missed a couple of good chances, but a big win for Orlando City there, and that puts them into second now in the Western Conference. In the Eastern Conference on 9 points, where New York Red Bulls 7th. They can tend to build up the Red Bulls, don't they? And, but Orlando beating both New York teams already at home.
There you go.
So big wins.
Great start.
Big wins. So that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it. Any points we should have been talking about, let us know in the comments section below. Make sure if you are connected to San Jose or LA Galaxy, get in touch.
Or also what I was also going to say is that, you know, if you live in California and you can get me cheap tickets for Disneyland and Universal, I'm just saying, I'm not begging. I'm just saying the pound is terrible, and I'm going to be coming over to California to help your economy out. You know, so that's all I'm saying. I'm going to come and I'm going to help you out. I'm going to come over and help you out. So, you know, swapsies, isn't it? Swapsies.
If you work at Disneyland California.
Well, you know, they have these little tickets, and you know, they have these like
resident
ones. If anyone can get me like a resident ticket for all that, you know, for you know, the Disneyland or for Universal, then you know,
you'd gratefully accept.
I'll greatly accept. I'll bring you some football merchandise over or something from here.
Do it. And if you're connected to San Jose or Galaxy, change the game.
That's
simple.
Or MLS.
I'm being fully. It's not hard.
It's not going to be hard, is it?
Not hard. Just
you turn up and go, listen.
Got someone from the MLS show coming over.
Donny. Garbo.
You
know,
I think that's what he's known.
Yeah, Garbo. Yeah, that's what everyone knows.
Yeah.
Got a fella coming over from Liverpool. Got a show on YouTube. Any chance we can change the kick-off time?
Spreading the message.
You know what I mean? If you change it, then he gets to go, and then he can spread the gospel. That's all. Surely that's all. Surely that's
what it's about.
I mean, the times are all over the place anyway, aren't they?
Yeah,
like, you know, you go, we're kicking off at 1. No, actually, you know, I've been on the Sky Planner. It says 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's 20 past 1 and the game still hasn't kicked off.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they were doing some kind of song, and then some planes were flying over, and then some fellas were parachuting in, and
they never kick off at the right time. Never
kick off. It says 1 and it ends up kicking off at 1:27.
Yeah, so it's just no good. So change it.
So if you're going to change it, change it for me.
Change it.
There you go. There you go. So,
anyway, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you soon on the MLS show.
Club's in a bit of a flux at the moment. There's obviously a lot of talk last week about Zlatan.
Yeah. Just quickly on that. Again, surfaced over the weekend that people don't think he's staying at United because of MLS.
Well, I mean,
how can you not?
United have been mad to let him go. He's their top goal scorer. He's scored over 20 goals this season.
Yesterday's goal.
He's flying, absolutely flying. And
I mean, if LA were to get him,
it sounds. I mean, from what it sounds like is that he would be willing to move.
Yeah.
But he'd also be willing to stay. But he wants Man United to
commit to
him. I think it does sound like he's agreed. Like the package that Galaxy have offered him, he's agreed to. But it's all reliant on how. I mean, he's a kind of fella that probably money doesn't really matter. It's how much someone. It's how he's. How someone is willing to use him or work with him, and he probably wants assurances off Man United that next season he's going to be a big, even if they bring big players in, that he doesn't want to be a big part player. He doesn't seem like one of those players that And the thing is, this season he's played nearly every game. He's so important for them. So you wouldn't imagine that they're just going to throw him out. And he has got an option on a 2-year deal, and he did say it's all down to Man United just pressing the button. So whether that's there now, I don't know. Maybe it'll be a case that LA Galaxy might have to wait another year for him.
Nice.
At the end of next season,
yeah.
Which would make sense. But they obviously want him this year, because if they get him this year, they can sort of turn it on its head and go, Man United wanted to keep him. We're getting him. He's still flying. He's just scored 25 goals in the Premier League or whatever he ends up with.
He's got 28 goals this season.
Exactly. So you can say, if he finishes the season with 30 goals, Zlatan's also said, I think Zlatan wants Champions League.
Welcome to the MLS Show. This is the results review. We have already done a game of the week. Sporting Kansas City and Colorado Rapids. So check that video out. Let's get on to the rest of the action from the weekend. A win for LA Galaxy. The first home win. That was on Friday night. They beat Montreal 2-0. And Jermaine Jones, who's had a little bit of a cob on last week, gave an interview saying, why is everyone having a pop at me? It's always my fault. But he scored the second goal in this one, Alessandrini, with the first. But we were talking last week, although none of you heard it because there was no sound, but we were saying how many things had happened at LA, how it'd been a big upheaval. Yeah. Gerrard, Keane, Gordon, Bruce Arena, Kurt and Alfo needed a result, and he's got one against Montreal, a good side. Yeah,
good result. You know, what they'd expect.
The first home win of the season, only won 2. Montreal Impact, no wins and second bottom in the Eastern Conference at the moment.
Yeah, poor start.
Yeah, very poor start, because they've got some good players.
Yeah, they have.
Mancuso, Piatti, you know, got real pace in that final third. So I'm a little bit surprised at the start they've made, but anyway, moving on. Chicago 1, Columbus 0. Dax McCarthy, lovely through ball for Nikolic. Chicago Fire. You know, we spoke about Schweinsteiger last week, which you didn't hear. Yeah. So just give me a 90-second Bastian Schweinsteiger for everyone, Ped. Good signing or not?
He's a great signing. He's absolutely a great signing. He's as we said last week that no one heard. He's basically been kicking his heels around for a year at Man United without hardly playing any games. He's fresh. He's ready to go. You know, okay, he's only 31, isn't he?
Yeah, 31.
You can knock a couple of years off that because he hasn't been playing. He is actually a player as big as well.
He's not going to fancy the Europa League.
Yeah, again. So maybe if United win the Europa League, then maybe he'll go. I'll have one more, because he's never won the Champions League.
No.
So maybe he'll think, well, I'll have one more go. So it might just be a case of everything's done with LA, but I think he'll become an LA Galaxy player, but he might have to wait another year.
Okay. I mean, it'd be some signing. Like we're seeing every week here, just how good a player he is. I mean, he played against our club the other night, Everton. He was fantastic. Yeah. You know, and then seeing his goal this weekend against Sunderland, this sheer strength and the finish, and then the hold-up play for, I think it was Rashford's goal. He just waited and waited. He will be some player in MLS.
And everyone would love him as well. Well, everyone that'd love him or hate him.
Yeah.
But then again, who cares? You know what I mean? Everyone loves a pantomime.
I think he'd score 30 goals in MLS because he's just that good. He really is. Galaxy up to 5th there, like I said.